Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of our 4th Age Total War Tharbad campaign. In the last one, we picked a fight with Rohan, and we grabbed, well, we moved into their territory, pretty much. We are besieging the Hornburg with a full stack, and I hope to assault it in the next turn here. That'll be an interesting one, maybe. And then we've got another army here, just kind of blocking, so hopefully we won't get hit in the back. So let's see what they do. We're moving an army north to head... Let's see, were you heading up towards the Lossoth region? It could be. And here we go. We're getting hit with a very aggressive Rohan army. Now, our own forces look decent. Look like they... Ooh, I don't know, though. Ooh, yeah, we're losing this one. We are losing this one for sure, 100%. All right. And, I mean, the balance of power just... You know, I don't think we can trust that. We've got some archers, but if the AI, you know, is at all doing what I'm quite sure it's going to do, we will not have time to get off more than 1 or 2 volleys. All of those units are excellent that they're sending at us, and so they could just charge straight in, head on, and kill us really fast. All right. Let's see what we can do about this. This guy's going to be useless, this general here. But, geez, if we... This is a decent battlefield for us. I think we want to kind of use the trees. Use the height a little bit. They're going to be, you know, right down there. So, let's see. We've got 1 melee unit. We've got 1 melee unit. This was kind of everything I could scrape together. So we've got Spears of the Bridge here. I'm a little hesitant to bring my general up, but I think we're going to have to do something like that. We'll set them right here in the trees. I think that's what we want to do. Put them on guard mode. And we're going to have the mercenaries not on skirmish, and we're going to put them right back there. We're going to put archers down here, and the archers are here to block and slow down the cavalry, because they're not going to play much of a role in this fight. And our own cavalry, with only 3 units, we're just going to have to send them around and hope that opportunities arise. Let's see what they do. Look at that. This just looks scary to me. So this is their Riders of the Mark. Very, very good unit. 2 full units of that, and then we've got the what is this? Yeah, Riders of the King's House. This is their bodyguard unit, which is insane. I think this is fear-causing, so we are gonna have to hope for the best. Let's see. They're gonna get close enough for us to start shooting at them. I'm worried that they're gonna go after this cav, I think, but I think we're gonna draw their attention with our archers. We are managing to thin them down slightly. And we want to wait until they are stuck into some kind of melee to send this cavalry forward. Let's do that there. And I would love if you would actually register that double click. That'd be great. Alright, 36 men. We gotta be careful of this. Gotta be careful of this. Alright, this is not gonna go well. They are cunningly avoiding my spearmen. They're losing slightly over here. You know what? And actually, we're doing quite good there. And their Riders of the King's House is being stupid and just pursuing my 1 unit of archers. Maybe I should have these guys skirmish now, just to add extra time. Alright, you are archers, so actually you're good. Let's bring you down here, and the archers actually came back. Double click, please. Thank you. Okay. We took out the other unit of cav. He's going after my archers just 1 at a time. And the problem is, you know, with 40 men left... This is a very, very tough unit. 39. I'm just going to put the spears here to block. I'm going to wait to use my cav. Let's get him over here. And we'll just play dumb. Alright, what are you going to do? Down to 33, 32. Alright, actually, let's halt those axemen. They've got one throw left for each of them. Down to 31. Alright, they are being stupid. Maybe they're going to leave? Are they going away? Yeah, I think they are. Alright, great. So, where are they going to go? It's going to be probably Edoras. They can't go back to the Hornburg because that is under siege. They can't go back to Entwade because we took that from them. They're attacking us. So if they just want to go and wait on the, the corner of the map, that's fine with me. But I think this family member is going to probably slip past my army that's right outside Edoras. We got lucky here. I mean, I guess, is it really luck when you're counting on the AI's stupidity? I guess not. That should be something I expect more, but I mean, that could have gone very, very badly. Victory! So I don't even know where they went. Did the unit just die? I don't think that it would do that. All right, we get another family member coming of age in Dunkreok. That is useful. Again, this guy is not great, but I'll take the 34 men in the bodyguard. And this means we're at war with the reunited kingdom. That's all expected. All right, the capital of our vassal is still Dunhold, and hopefully we can change that. We can give them a settlement or two, and then they'll just shift where their capital is. We've done a lot of building. We're going to keep that up as much as we can. United Kingdom is most advanced, and last turn we get 7,000 in tributes. So this money has just been coming in. 1820. Is this the city that we paid for? Probably was. I don't know, though. At any rate, we have Entwade that is probably going to fall. Look at this. Even if we lose this, I still think it's worth it to have bought it. Because what we're going to do now is we'll just go ahead and put Edoras under siege. What's in here? I don't think this is the guy we just fought. But we've got some more Riders of the Mark in here. Yeah, so we need to get this. And we do need to get this. Potentially keep it. Let's see. This guy is not at war with Rohan. So one thing we could try, and I am thinking about this, is if we gift this to Dunland, will Rohan not try to take it back? Let's try that. I'm going to give you the province of Entwade. And I'm going to offer you... it really doesn't matter. Let's give him 2,500. All right, they took it. Maybe we're at the point where they would have taken it for free, but a lot of times they seem not to take it for free. So I always want to add a little gold to sweeten the pot if you really want to give it away. Now, this may seem kind of dumb, but the purpose of this is to see if the AI is going to hold off. Now, they may not, because they do need this. Rohan needs to take this back as part of its victory conditions. They need to have all of their own homelands. But a lot of times, the AI ignores your protectorates on the campaign map, which is why using them as a buffer does work a lot of the time. Maybe not 100% of the time, and we will be testing that now. But the other thing we want to do is go right in and assault the Hornburg. That is kind of the big event today. We've got a very interesting little army here. We've got the Riders of the King's House, of course, and this is this the king? He is not the king. He's some guy, a Freyawind of the House of Bregu. He's got a loyal esquire, a swift errand rider, and a gifted horse trainer, which is really cool. I don't know if that actually applies to him here because, he does have 50% of his army cavalry in terms of units, so I guess he could get a little command bonus there. But he doesn't look like he's going to be that tough in terms of an opponent. He is a wary fighter, so that gives him a little HP. But you know, I think some of these, I don't know how much that's going to really matter. Energetic though does help him. The real interesting thing here is the Helmingus, which is a really, really cool looking unit, and they are unique to this province. So I'm glad to see them here. And we're gonna, you know, we're gonna have our work cut out for us, I guess. But I don't know if we've ever really fought at the Hornburg. Maybe when I played Dunland, we did. I'm pretty sure we didn't when I was Rohan, because if you're playing as Rohan, you kind of don't want to fight at the Hornburg, because, you know, if it does, it means that it's under siege, and you want to, you know, keep that as a moneymaker. But, so we're attacking here. This is a settlement designed by Webba. Let's just take a look. Very, very imposing. I love the view from here. You can see the nice ramp leading up to the fort. Let's just get our guys sort of set up. Now, there is, let's see. Oh, we don't have any rams. Dang, okay. We were building rams eventually, but we should have set them earlier in the queue. This means we're going to have to go over this lower wall, which, you know, oftentimes is what you need to do. But this is the other approach, right? Go up the ramp with a ram, because you can't get ladders or siege towers up here. They are not accessible. It's, as you can see, it's just like towers. So, yeah, you could bust through this, but it's tricky because, you know, there's towers shooting at you and sometimes other units. This wall, very nice sort of rounded wall here, protecting the inner plaza that you have to capture, is pierced by this single arch, and out of it the settlement goes around the back, where we have sort of the passages to the glittering caves beyond. This is indicated by this kind of dwarven style architecture, like that building, and you know, most notably this gate here. The idea being, you know, this is the 4th age, and the dwarves have come down under Gimli to sort of set up a colony. And let's just get this going. We're gonna have, let's see, a Helmingus unit, and they may be on one of these walls, so we'll go with all of our towers, I guess. And we've got, what, 4 areas we could put a tower on? Let's see, yeah, I think I'll use my lower tier stuff. I want to save you, all of you guys, and we're going to use, like, well, we can't really retrain any of these guys here, but let's go with some, like, mercenaries, just in case there's any resistance that we could deal with. All right, we're both going for that. Is that right? I guess there's 3 sections of wall here. One. You're going there. You're going there. Yeah, I guess there would be 3. So we didn't need the 4th, but we'll keep them here as a backup. This is actually the general. So this is really, we don't need to send everybody, but I may as well. And here's the Helmingus up here. So we're going to definitely speed up the battle. There's going to be a lot of just marching in this one. Alright, we've captured both of the towers on either end. And that means all of our infantry can get over in here now, which is definitely what I want. The trick, though, is, you know, Helm's Deep is a kind of a unique settlement in the sense that you can't easily get guys like cavalry in through the gate, right? Unless you have a ram. And this is very unusual to have the gate so close to the plaza, right? Obviously, it's at the top of this ramp, so it is a bit of a struggle to get up there. But the fact that you can, you know, bust through that gate and then be kind of right there, it makes this settlement just totally different from any other. But it also, presents a challenge, because normally I could, capture a gate well away from, where the enemy is hanging out, and get my infantry guys, in a pretty straightforward manner. I can't do that now. So what we've got to do is essentially win this entirely with my infantry. I guess what I could do is, if I can sneak an infantry unit up here, capture the gate and both of the towers, then I could run, my cavalry up here and, march some of my infantry up. That might be worth doing. So maybe what I'll do is just send them down there and hope that they're not going to get shot up. Alright, what do we got for time? That's the thing. We got 36 minutes, so yeah, we don't want to rush this, because we want to make sure we've got our good units, properly in place. Alright, there's some Mariner swordsmen. We are going to have to time it right. So that means all of these guys who captured the tower are just going to have to hang out. I don't want to get them close enough to start pulling these guys away from the plaza just yet. We want to have really good backup. So that's going to be these swordsmen. We've got 3 units of them. But even they are going to get swept away by, just the strength of these Rohan units, especially the cavalry. So we're bringing up these spearmen. Spears of the bridge. They're not going to be the answer for everything here, but they are going to help. All right, I think it's worth getting kind of close. If we can get these guys out, here, what I want to do is maybe, cause some death right around this choke point. Slowly grind down the cavalry here, and then maybe get it so that we can, capture the gates. Okay, we're pulling them. Let's slow down the timer. We're actually not pulling them. We've actually got to kill some people before you pull them out of the plaza. So we're not really gonna connect with any of these arrows. Let's keep my guys marching up the hill. I think I will get them in shield wall formation. Be right there. Alright, you can stand there, you can stand there, and that way I think they'll be able to shoot through this gap. Maybe hit some of them. Yes. Okay, no casualties yet. Right, there's some spears of the bridge finally. All right, maybe we'll have to get some of these guys just moving through. Kind of like that. Alright, we're not getting shot by the towers, I guess. Yeah, let's bring the axemen over. I think if we make a run for it, we're going to get cut down by the cavalry. Alright, but spears, more swords, more spears. And I'd like to preserve my axemen because I don't have a lot of really good infantry. How much time now? 24 minutes. Plenty of time. Plenty of time. Alright, spears of the bridge. Let's move over here. Put you on guard mode. I don't want them running into the plaza. Oh, we're starting to get hit by the... Oh, jeez. Alright, let's run for it. Can we make it? All right, we got it. We got the tower. One of them anyway. And I'm just going to run straight through. I think we're going to capture these as we go. You don't need to get everybody up on the wall to start capturing the towers. And that means we can start bringing everybody up here. There we go. We got the gate. We're going to get this last tower. Now we don't need to hide. We can bring you up. Okay. Swordsman and swordsman. Let's get you in a nice shield wall. Alright, we got all of these towers. That's great. We'll get our axemen back out.
Swordsman, spearman. Swordsman. Swordsman. Axeman. Spearman. Swordsman. Axeman.
Oh, that's a charge.
Swordsman. Swordsman.
Okay, let's just go.
Swordsman. Swordsman. Swordsman.
Losing slightly. 27. We're actually doing better than I thought. I mean, it is a melee, and they didn't get a really nice charge built up. Alright, let's run up some of these units. Okay, losing heavily. Very nice. We'll bring you up. Maybe I can pull some of these helming us out. Oh, I guess we already have. Halt. 19 men. We're doing much better than I thought. Oh, and the general is up. Alright, here come the helming us into our mariner swords. How are they going to do? Looks like we're doing pretty well. We're getting a bit of a pushback here. I don't know if that's because of the formation giving us like some mass. If so, that would be a sort of a neat secondary benefit. It seems to make sense that we're sort of pushing into them even though we didn't attack because we're, you know, we've got more density. Alright, let's do this then. We're going to get right in here. We've captured the plaza. And so, if we can kind of hold them here, 19 minutes. Oh, we're all set. All right, let's do it. I know that, you know, we could have gone for the honorable victory by making sure they were all dead, but it doesn't feel quite on brand for the way we're playing. So with that, Hornburg is ours. And if we were worried about money before, we're not worried about money now. Let's see. This is a very, very unhappy place, though. There's so many people here. Want to lay desolate? That might be a good move. Yeah, let's do that. We've still got a lot of people here. In a manner of speaking, 2,600. So, let's get rid of this Marshal's Muster Hall. This is what's allowing them to train Helmingus and all the other things. Get rid of their King's Feast. This is their cultural conversion building. The mines are awesome. We're going to be benefiting from those in a little while. Warhorse Trainers is a specialization building that we don't benefit from, so we'll get rid of that. Horse Farms, though, we do. This is trade. Although, I think this also has the option of going for like stone or silver. What is this? What other kind of resources do we get here? Yeah, silver, gemstones. Stone may be coming from elsewhere, but horses are from here. So it might make sense to get rid of this and go for the livestock. Or sorry, the gemstone industry. And the nice thing about Hornburg is it's already built all the way up, so we do not need to wait for tier 2. Let's actually do that. There's not going to be, you know, any... Well, actually, we are doing a lot of trading already, but it's gonna be a while before this really gets its fullest benefits, right? Because we've got to do a Dominion here. So do I want to do that? Well, let's take a look at what we could train. This is an outland, I'm pretty sure. So Rohan Spearmen Levies are going to give us your, basic militia type. At tier 2, we're going to get Rohan Spear Levies. And so that's going to be a horse, which is a nice, essentially very much like our merchant cavalry, right? The merchant scouts. They've got spears. They're more for charge than for anything else. But it's nice to get them because, honestly, tier 2, we can't get our cavalry at tier 2, even in our homelands. So this is actually nice to get it at this level. Then we get Tharbad militia and some other stuff. The nice thing though is we get retainer riders at the highest level of military stuff. So this is kind of like Riders of the Mark. Yeah, very much. And just a little blue color there. We've got spears and swords, I believe. So very, very nice. If we can make the campaign last long enough, I'd like to get those guys. So let's just start right off with this. We'll lower the taxes, and let's just make sure public order is looking good. I think it is. You guys were going here for just beefing up public order because this was the one that needed it, I think. But we get our Dominion buildings all built, so now it's just what do we want to spend money on, right? What did we lose here? A little. We lost about, what is this, half or so, yeah, of one unit. But that's really quite good for, taking on the Hornburg, given that we had to kind of suffer under some tower fire. So, arguably, what are you? You're a competent governor. Oh, right, Glittering Caves. All right, sorry the headphones there. The Glittering Caves is going to give us basically trade stuff. Oh, there's no, commensurate building here, but it's good to have, right? So this guy is a competent governor, which means he could just hang out here, but he's an adept commander, so I think I want to swap out the armies. We've got a ton of movement points here, so let's put you let's see. Man, we didn't even lose any of our mercenaries. We get them all back? That's crazy.
Captain.
Did we lose? There's some spearmen, but it's kind of negligible. So let's kind of keep this the way it is, I guess. We'll send you back to get retrained, at home or whatever. And we'll give you another cav unit. I think you could use it.
Captain.
And let's actually combine. You guys are so far away from getting retrained that we may as well. And yeah, Hornburg should be fine. Let's keep it just like that. And now we've got our backup army. So this is actually kind of nice to have. When you buy a settlement or you get it through diplomacy, you're going to get a bunch of these peasant units essentially. Notice there's only 20 men per unit. So they're really not useful for anything, but they are kind of useful for little light garrison duty. If you need something, it can be nice to have them as a backup. So, I don't know that I need anything right now. We could go and add them to the Hornburg, right? We could add them to a garrison because really, at this point, I think the Hornburg is not going to be an active front. As long as this stays in the hands of Dunland, and this stays in the hands of Dunland, then the only front we've got is going down here. We could capture Edoras and Dunharrow. That's also safe, because it doesn't border anything other than Edoras, I think. We could take Aldburg, right? And then we could basically declare ourselves happy with the state of the world. Take Aldburg, maybe take this and give it to Dunland. Or just give this to Dunland. I'm not sure. It's saying we're at 32. Again, 4 of that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, 5 settlements now. Don't really count for that purpose. But that is in part why we are moving men up north. As you can see, that's where we're going with this army, going up towards Rond-la-Soth. Let's get some more mercenaries. I don't think we need to invest in the cav. because this looks like it would be pretty easy to take. We could just sneak in there with our forces before the main army returns, take it in a single turn, and then they would just sort of slink away somewhere off, probably to the east, to some other rebel settlement. They're not going to try to take back what they've lost. The other thing, though, is we kind of wanted to keep an eye on things in the east. I guess I don't have any scouts actively watching that, but over here we've got Rohan now turning back west, but hopefully we've stymied them. What I want to do is... Geez, I don't know. I don't think I want to take up a position here. I don't want to pull Dunland into a war unless Rohan is going to start it, right? So I will just have these guys just nearby, and maybe if this army is attacked, they can show up as reinforcements. All right, yeah, Dunfrecka is not attacked by the Reunited Kingdom. So they're not really doing anything to me, which is great. Protectorate's working out, and check this out, right? They don't want to go for it. So this is the use of protectorates. Now, I think I'll pass on this guy. He's incompetent. But yeah, the only thing we would need to do here is assault. It'd be a similar kind of situation to a previous battle. Edoras is a bigger settlement. It's probably something we should fight in person, because you know, these units on autocalc are going to do a number on us. So probably what I'll do is I'll save that for the next episode. But before we end, let's just kind of cruise around and see. We're projected to make 70,000 next turn. Can that be right? Doesn't seem quite right.
Yes, Captain.
But let's just put you there. I'm not even worried about it. Let's send you guys north.
Onward. Out of move, sir. Prepare for battle.
That's only 2 turns to Rondlasoth. And Sarnford, we want to keep building here because we had that public order issue. Let's see how it is now. Yeah, so 40%. There was a spy in here, right? Because this unrest was at 80% earlier. So since we've still got this governor here, and he is competent, but he looks like he's getting old. You can tell by the whitish beard. We want to make use of him while we've got him. So we may as well do something like go for an urban province here. And Bree, same thing. Maybe instead we want to go for irrigation. That's just, you know, an extra bunch of money. Let's see, Fornost. We did want to develop Fornost. Let's put in for that. And Anuminas, is it going to be worth it? It's going to save us, man, almost 200. It's going to cost us, you know, like 100 or so. So I think that's a good trade. So we get libraries, and then at the next tier, eventually, we can get really to stacking those faction-wide law bonuses. Up here, I think I'm just going to go urban province again. That's going to actually improve land tax. One of the things to be aware of is that sometimes these buildings won't, or other buildings, won't seem to show all the benefits that they're claiming. So, but this is just a quirk of the engine. It can't show certain types of income increasing for some reason. So land tax revenue is 50. That's some kind of multiplier. And the one down, land tax revenue 30. So whatever we were making here, it's going to be more than that when this is done. And, you know, don't know the exact number of that. But this is what allows us to set up a system where we've got, you know, upkeep for buildings, like military buildings and certain other things. Tharbad, though, yeah, I don't feel the need to invest a whole lot, especially when we've got places like over here, where we want to get just some training and some, like, you know, basic infrastructure, I guess. 200 to 320. Yeah, let's go with that. Lymphalis, we are ready to go. We've got a kind of an old general here too. This is a place where, you know, we can get our vassal warhounds. But it's going to take us a while to build, right? We're much closer here in Dunkreok. But I think we do want to build somewhere, or some things. Let's go with a harbor, because we don't have any sort of port down here. That's going to cost us a little bit in upkeep. It's going to get us a little bit of trade. and it's going to, what is that? It's going to hurt us in terms of management, or is it actually going to decrease it? I'm not sure. But I think the trade is going to go up more than that, as long as we have some nice access to ports. What we could do, you know, I think this would be a good idea, is take this, you know, give it to Dunland, and just see what that does. All right. So yes, I think we're at a point now where we can sort of pause. I think Rohan is maybe trying to get something together up here. No, they just don't have much. It's very sad. But this is the only place they can really train. All they can get out of the hold of Dunharrow is like very basic militia type units. So we're kind of good, is what I'm trying to say. As long as our Dunlanding vassals hold Entwade, we should be just fine. So in the next episode, we're going to assault Edoras. We're going to try to take it. I think we will. And then we're going to see if we can figure this out, right? We're going to try to get where... Because if we get this is a nice, big, chunky zone, and we could be trading here if this gets built up. And maybe we could get this for ourselves, right? We could capture a few, you know, buy back a few places from Dunland. And if they insist on not moving their capital ever, well, we might just have to go in for the killing blow. It would be a sad end to our relationship, but that would be what we need to do to win the campaign. So I hope you join me for the next time. Until then, take care.